Delighted and grateful to be one of the title sponsor for the 10th ICT Awards. And I've spoken to quite a few of the nominees here today, and there's just some fantastic innovation happening. And if you look at the last 10 years, what's been achieved in Nepal, and you can only imagine what's going to happen over the next decade too. So I'll just wait maybe for the presentation to come up. Okay. To the next slide, please. So, thank you so much. So my objective, by the way, is not to bore people for the next 7 minutes with a PowerPoint presentation, but what I will do is just give you a bit more about our why inDrive exists, who we are, and importantly, why it's important for us to be a title sponsor for the ICT Tech Awards too. So we have this super ambitious goal to positively impact 1 billion lives by the year 2030, and we're well on our way to achieve that. But the question is how? How do we really do that? And you know, there's two parts to our business. There's the ride-hailing part, which hopefully a lot of you see this in your daily lives across Kathmandu and Nepal. And then we have our InVision sector as well. And collectively, this is what is going to help us generate that super ambitious, super mission goal to achieve that 1 billion lives of positive impact. And we're going to do that really by reducing the economic inequality. And we do this across 48 markets right now. And importantly, again, you know, serving and connecting underprivileged communities is a big part of our why. Now, for those of you who aren't fully aware of inDrive, we are live in 48 markets, and we've just passed a tremendous milestone of 1,000 cities that we're now live in. And we do this through three really key levers. The first one is fair pricing. You know, what's really important is that people can get from A to B in certain urban mobility areas where other forms of transport is just not freely available. And we do this in the most equitable way by showing fair prices to our consumers. Secondly is the freedom of choice. So for those of you who have used our application, you will see that you get to choose your driver, you get to choose your price. And that equally is for our drivers as well. They get to choose their passengers and can work with the passengers to choose on that right price. And that is a really important USP for us. And last one, for the drivers here. You know, in Kathmandu, we have thousands and thousands of drivers roaming the streets every day, getting people from A to B. And what we're really proud of is we have one of the lowest service fees, one of the lowest commissions globally. And this means that more drivers get to put more money into their pockets. That's more money back into the local economy. And this is something that you'll see us do until the end. You know, it's very important that we are positively impacting the local economies. And you'll see, you know, on this application here, we are #2 in world downloads in the ride-hailing world, just behind, you know, perhaps some royalty there that we've seen across the globe. And again, we've been able to scale this 12 years now. We've been able to scale from one country all the way back in Siberia, Kazakhstan, to 48 markets across the world. And Nepal, you know, Nepal, I first came here 12 months ago this month, and I've been here 23 times since. This year is my most visited city, and it's only fitting that I'm here talking at the very end, which will be my last visit of this year as well. And, you know, we've seen the tremendous impact that we've been able to have here in Nepal. So we have 3 major verticals. Our first one is our ride-hailing vertical. This really is the lion's share of what we do. But then we also have our delivery courier vertical as well. So just for the small parcels going from A to B. And in certain markets, we also offer the city to city. So this is our intercity, where you can go from one city to another. And if you're not familiar with our application, our objective is to get a fair and transparent price for both the driver and the passenger. So if you go onto the application, you can choose your destination, you can then add in your price, you can agree that price with the driver, and then you can choose your driver based upon different reasons, whether it's quickness, whether it's racing, or whether it's the car type. Now, I mentioned 2 parts to the business, to this global super mission of positively impacting 1 billion lives. The first one was the ride-hailing. The second one is our social injustice, our InVision programs that we operate. Now, you'll see the 4 kind of key areas that we focus on. And I think most importantly here, all of these are funded by our founder and by our business. And we try and really impact in these levers. Anything from, we launched a university free for students to study in Kazakhstan. We have the Supernovas, where last year we actually sponsored the Kathmandu Marathon. The Aurora Tech Awards. This is really fitting today because it's actually a program where we support and fund female tech founders, and they've come up with some fantastic ideas and fantastic innovation. And then the Alternativa Film Festival. We hosted it in Indonesia, in Jakarta this year, and I had the privilege a few months ago to see the screening of one of the finalists, Devi, here in Kathmandu, and we're hoping to have it here very, very soon. And just to kind of end on this part, this is our founder, Arsen Tomsky. If you do ever get the chance, I highly recommend watching the documentary. It's about 57 minutes long, but it gives you the deeper understanding as to why we decided to create this business. And I'll just talk for the next couple of minutes on Nepal. So again, we've been here for a few years now, and we've seen the tremendous impact that inDrive has been able to have with the communities and with the drivers and with the passengers. So again, really focused on the freedom of choice, our transparent system, our peer-to-peer bidding model. These are our unique proposition values, which will continue to operate here in Nepal. And importantly as well, we can have a fantastic application and we can have fantastic drivers and great passengers, but that safety element is super important. And what we've been able to do over the last 12 to 18 months is really drive artificial intelligence into these areas of safety as well to improve and enhance the safety features, everything from the SOS button all the way through to the ratings. We've been able to really help impact that through tech and innovation. And for those of you who may have been to the recent Nepalese Premier League, you would have seen a couple of these banners up here. We've just had the privilege of bringing on our brand ambassador, Swasti Makarka, who's been helping us to really drive our key message over the last few months. And then, really just to end on the last couple of slides here. Sponsoring these types of events really hits home for us because we understand that you cannot grow without innovation. And what really drives us to help sponsor the ICT Awards is this shared mission to challenge these outdated models. And we'll do in that by really helping to contribute towards the Nepal ecosystem. And importantly, we want to help to empower the next generation of tech innovators. And we see, events like this really helps drive those innovation of the next wave of tech. And then just from our end as well, what is important here is driving this social change and working with the ICT. We truly believe that we can together help drive social and economic change through strong tech AI innovation. And I'm going to stop there. Again, thank you all so much for today, and best of luck to all of the nominees. Thank you.